I am the Juicer. Juicer here, Juicer's Corner. Week 1 of the Chicago Bears season is upon us. Tomorrow, we have our first NFL game, and I am fired up, baby. Let's go, Chicago Bears. All right, we're going to get into it. 24 season. Let's do it. We got the games. We're going to start out with KC hosting Baltimore. The line's minus 3.5 or 3, whatever book you look at. The over under 46.5. 46.5, I think, is. I know both teams are good. Baltimore still has that great defense. KC came on at the end with their defense. Plus, how did they pick a receiver in the draft that's like the fastest guy at 4.21, I believe? Running the 40s. You had Tariq Hill and you won Super Bowls with that guy. And now the rest of you in the NFL, for some reason, says, let's give KC one of the fastest fucking guys because Patrick Mahomes can throw it fucking deep. I don't understand this shit. But that's okay because the Bears are going to be there at the end. All right. So KC's looking pretty good. Baltimore, I like the under in this game. I think the defense is going to be a little bit better. We're taking Baltimore. My pick is Baltimore. I love KC. I like them a lot. But I just believe that they're going to have a hangover from the Super Bowl, which most teams do when they win the game. They come home, they got the ceremony, they got the rings, they got everything, blah, blah, blah. And then you got Mr. Lamar Jackson sitting on the sideline, chomping at the bit to get on the fucking field to beat you. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. I like KC. I think they're going to do good this year. Everybody thinks a repeat. I don't know about that. But we're going to take KC, or we're going to take Baltimore on the road, getting the points. And that's what the Juicers calling it. All right, over, under. We're taking the under. All right, we have a Friday game. So now we're going to have football on Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days, opening weekend football. That's fantastic for the Juicer. Let's go. All right, so we got Green Bay at Philly, which not at Philly. They're out of town. We got football on Friday. That line is Philly minus 2.5, and the over-under at 49.5. This game, I'm going to take the over. I believe Green Bay's going to try to come out and get the points, but I believe Philly should win this game by a field goal. It's minus 2.5. We're taking Philly minus the 2.5 and win the game straight up. So that's the way we're going. All right, moving on. We got the over in that game at 49.5. We have Tennessee on Sunday at Bears. The line's 3.5. Somewhere it's 4. Over under at 44.5. This game is going to go under at 44.5. A lot of people think it's going to go over, but the Bears will score points. The problem is the Bears, the last 5 or 6 games of the season, their defense was only giving up 15, 17 points tops. And it's Tennessee. I already told you. Tennessee's not that great. Hopkins, he's hurt. I don't know if he's going to play. They haven't said yet he's questionable, blah, 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 blah. They got Calvin Ridley, but that's great. But you got a rookie throwing to him. He's a veteran. You got Tyler Boyd, I believe, is on the team as the receiver. So, he's going to be there. They got Tony Pollard, which is their running. That's what they're going to try to do. But we should shut it down with our linebackers. It should be gear. So we're taking the Bears minus the points and the under on the game. So Bears in the under. That's what we're talking about. Caleb is going to get it going. He's going to sling some touchdowns. I think we're going to get more touchdown. I think Swift will get a touchdown. This game should be somewhere like 24-26 Bears to like 15 or 16 or even 17 for Tennessee. So the game's going to go under right there at the moment. All right, moving on. We got Atlanta at home hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, starting out with Russell Wilson instead of Fields. We'll see what happens. We'll see how good it is. Russell Wilson, boy, you had a decent team in Denver when you came in, and I thought you were going to do okay, but he just fell apart, man. I know you're getting old and all that shit. I still think you're a good player, but I don't know. Atlanta's got Kirk Cousins. Everybody's high on Kirk Cousins. They got Robinson. They got some good receivers. But Pitt's on the road. They don't do so. They got the great defense still. The great defense. That game is 41.5. I believe it goes over. I think Russell Wilson gets at least 17 points on Atlanta, at least. And Atlanta should be trying to score with Kirk Cousins. The line's 3.5, so we're taking Atlanta. Atlanta to cover the number and for them to win the game. And we're taking the over. All right, moving on. We have Minnesota at the Giants. I'm hearing a lot about this game. Everybody's all over Minnesota. Everybody's all over this. They're gonna. Who's Sam Arnold? Sam Arnold. I know who he is, but is he a deep a deep ball thrower? Have you seen him throw the ball very well? Everybody's gonna lock on the fucking Jefferson and the receivers, so they're gonna go beat us by throwing the ball to someone else. And I don't trust him. I just don't trust him until I see what goes on with Minnesota. I can't take them. New York Giants had any better, but guess what? I think the Giants are going to come up big at home to win the first game against Atlanta. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, against Minnesota. I think they're going to win against Minnesota. So we're taking the Giants plus the points, and we're taking the over at 41.5. All right. Then we're moving on to Jacksonville, Miami. This line is 48.5. Miami at home minus 3.5. Everybody's on the Jags. Most of the money's going towards the Jags, but I like Miami in this game. I think they cover the 3.5. They win by 4, maybe 24-20, just to sneak out half a point on the win. Over under, I'm taking the under. It's at 48.5. I think both defenses will come up, even though we have good offenses. Tyreek Hill will get a touchdown. Tua will get a touchdown. But other than that, we're going to take the under. We're taking Miami to win the game, minus the 3.5 points. All right, we're going to New England at Cincinnati. This is one of the highest point spreads on the card this weekend. Cincinnati at home, minus 8.5. 40.5 is the over-under with this New England. They got Toby Brissett quarterbacking. I don't see anything positive about this fucking New England team at all. At all. Except their defense might be okay. Cincinnati's looking good. Jamar Chase is Wednesday. Jamar Chase did practice today, even though he hasn't got a contract. So we're going to find out if he's going to be out there in week 1. Even if he's out there in week 1, I like Cincinnati to win the game. But 8.5, they got to win by 10 at least. We're going to take them. We're going to take Cincinnati minus the points at 8.5. The over and under is 40.5. I was going to take the under because I don't think Miami's going to score many points. So this game, boy, it's 40.5. It's going to be right there, but we're going to go the over. I had the under written down eventually, but we're changing that to the over because it's only 40.5. And if they're going to win by 10, you got to take the over. That's just how it is. Because if they're going to win by 10, you got to score. So that's what we're going to do. Cincinnati minus the 8.5. The over at 40.5. Mark it down. Just calling for it. All right, we got Arizona on the road to the Bills. Bills are minus 6.5. Over under is 48.5. I think the Bills Mafia comes up big with their defense. I think Arizona's going to be okay. I think if you got Marvin Harrison Jr., the second, third, whatever the fuck you want to call him, that came out, I think he gets a touchdown. They're going to try throwing to him. They're pretty much their own offense. I know they got Counter in the backfield from Pittsburgh, but he's been old for a while. Arizona still has some problems. I think they keep this game close. We're going to take the Bills at home. And boy, they got to cover a touchdown. I think they win by a touchdown. Bills win by a touchdown. Arizona's going to keep it close for a while, but they're going to win by a touchdown. All right, moving on. We got Houston and Indy. Houston's minus 3, Indy at 48.5. This game is going to go over. Everybody's calling for Indy to win this game. Almost all the money, 68 or 72%, is on Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. What has this guy done to prove himself? You're going against Houston. C-Trey got into the playoffs. He won 10 games last year. You picked up Stephon Diggs. You got your receivers deep. You got a running back. Their defense is good. How is everybody taking Indy? Sorry, I dropped my paper. But I don't understand it. I mean, they got some good players, but until this rookie, which he only played 3 or 4 games, got hurt, he's still a rookie to me. Once he comes out and can prove that he can win a game against an opponent like this, come on. We're taking Houston. Let's go. All right. Then we're going to pop into Carolina and New Orleans. New Orleans -4, Carolina 41.5. This game is going to go under. I think all the games Carolina played last year, they only had maybe 4 or 5 games that they did not lose by 4 points. I haven't checked the stats on that. My team's working on it. We'll know about it next week. But we're going to take New Orleans to cover the 4 at home at the Dome. Carolina come in. They're not a good road team. They're better at home. But we're going to see what happens. But we're going to take Carolina -4. All right. We're on to Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Raiders with the LA Chargers. Las Vegas Raiders going into LA Chargers. Chargers are -3, 40.5. We're taking it over in this game, and we're taking the Raiders. Okay, Justin Herbert got hurt, is a little bit hurt again. This guy's hurt every goddamn year, and he has to come out and play. Can't even come out in the first game and play healthy. I don't understand this guy. Like, they pay him all this money. Jim Harbaugh, you get rid of all your receivers. You get rid of your running back. I don't know who the fuck you got on your team. I haven't looked it up, but I will. But the Chargers, I just don't think, with his debut coming into the NFL, is going to be any good against the Raiders. I think the Raiders are happy they got Pierce as their coach. I think Carr's going to do decent. I think the defense with Crosby is going to be nuts. So I expect them to go in there and get a win. We're taking Vegas in the points. All right. Then we have Denver at Seattle. Seattle's -6, 41.5 is this over and under. Seattle, we're going to take them covering a touchdown. Well, it's going to be tough because Denver's on the road. I don't think they're going to be that good. They're starting the rookie quarterback. Was it Mayo? So I think we're taking Seattle, but I believe Denver might keep this close. So I like the over in this game, but I'm not sure about the 6. So I'm just going to say Seattle covers the 6. Seattle covers the 6. All right. We got Washington and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay -3.5, 43.5 for the Commanders. We got Jalen Daniels coming in. He's going to be starting for that team. I think Washington looked pretty good in preseason. Their defense is really tough. They got some good running back. I believe everybody's on Tampa Bay. I don't understand it. I understand Bay got paid, made the playoffs, but I believe that this Washington team is going to be an upset special. Upset special. Ding, 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 ding. The juice is calling it. Up special. Washington Redskins +3.5, 43.5. We're taking the under. All right, another game we got on the line is Dallas at Cleveland. Cleveland's -2.5. Who the fuck are you? You got the rapist. He's had, 26 women after him? He's got over $200 million. He hasn't proved himself yet, but for some reason, at home, yeah, they got the #1 defense. I got it. I understand that. They'll probably stop the run. It's going to be Dak and CeeDee Lamb all day long. I still take it Dallas. It's 2.5. I think they win the game by a field goal. It's 40.5. So I think the over over probably comes in barely. But we take it Dallas. Come on. That's an upset special also. You're calling an upset special with Dallas. What are you doing, Juicer? That's what I see. That's what I see. It's nothing I can do. All right. We got the Rams Sunday night at Detroit. Detroit's hosting -3.5. I think that's a little too much. Rams are a decent team at the end of the year. They got the Cooper Kupp is healthy. They got the other kid, that rookie they had last year. They got all kinds of passes. I think Stafford's coming into the game pretty good. I think if they win 3-4 games within the first 5, I believe that Aaron Donald will come out of retirement and come back on the team. But let's see what happens. It's Detroit -3.5 and 50.5. Sunday Night Football in Detroit. Oh, they gave it up at the end last year. They were winning. We're going to take the over at 50.5. Okay. Detroit, are they going to come out and show everybody that they deserve to go to the Super Bowl like they almost did last year, winning all these games with Jared? They're at home, so I'm going to have to take them. I'm going to take them at home. I was going to circle the Rams, but I didn't. I'm going to take Detroit. I think the game is a 3-point game. So if you bet them, try to get 3 points so it's a push if you lose or if you win. All right. That's a good one. So then we go to Monday night. Da, 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 da! Monday night. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Football Jets are coming in to San Francisco. San Francisco 4.5, 43.5. They got Brandon Ayuk. They got his money. He's there. We got McCaffrey. We got Kittle. We got Purdy. We got Deebo Samuel. We got all these guys. I think I don't know if Williams is going to play or not. It's left tackle. But I think the 49ers have enough. They got to get back to the Super Bowl. This is their time. Coach is going to be on the hot seat. He goes every year, but he can't win anything. They got Purdy. I think they're going to win at home against the Rodgers, but we're taking the over in this game at 43.5 because I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to try to prove something to the NFL. He's going to try to score points with the Jets. I think this game is going to be very, very, very close, but at the end, 49ers will prevail. So that is your football for week 1 from Juice's Corner, and we're looking good, especially when the Bears win this Sunday. That's the way it's going to be. I will see you next week for week 2. We're going to see the picks. Oh, let me give you a quick teaser, couple of teasers that I like. Baltimore, Cincinnati, bring Cincinnati down to 2.5. They covered a field goal. They win the game at home. You got Baltimore plus like 9 on the road, but that's okay. They're good enough to do it. And then the other one would be Seattle, Dallas. I believe you tease that. Take the points up with Dallas, so you'd be getting like 8.5. You're covering a touchdown. And Seattle, bring it down to 0. I think they just win at home against Denver. Those are your picks for the Juicer's Corner 2024. And let's get it done.